and slash games used to be all the rage back in the day, and while the popularity of this genre has waned over the last couple of generations, plenty of developers are hard at work creating promising games of the ilk. Sure, many of these games belong to the middle market and indie space, but that doesn't make them any less exciting. To that end, here are 15 upcoming hack and slash games of 2023 and beyond that are worth keeping an eye out for. Black Myth Wukong. Chinese developer Game Science's upcoming Black Myth Wukong is based on the Chinese novel Journey to the West, and players embark on a grand quest to fight all sorts of monsters scattered throughout the kingdom. The combat is extremely fast-paced, yet methodical, with boss fights obviously being a highlight of the experience. You can also turn into an insect or a giant monster to overcome difficult situations, and it looks absolutely gorgeous thanks to great use of Unreal Engine 5. Black Myth Wukong will release for PC sometime in the near future. Morbid Metal. Morbid Metal is all about hacking and slashing your enemies in absolute style, as a mechanically augmented warrior. Currently in development at Screen Juice, Morbid Metal also features roguelike mechanics, like procedurally generated levels and random arrangements of enemies and bosses, which not only keep the players on their toes, but also ensures that each playthrough is different than the last. It will be released for PC sometime in the near future. The Relic. The Relic is an upcoming mismatch of hack and slash and Souls-like that transports you into a dark fantasy world, crawling with monstrous abominations that you need to take down to achieve your goals. The narrative sticks pretty closely to the Dark Souls rulebook, but the gameplay shifts the focus to parries and dodges over blocking, making for a game that's more fast-paced and aggressive. The developer has also stated that the game will have multiplayer elements, though we don't know much on how that will work. Project Relic will release sometime later this year. Lies of P. NeoWiz's upcoming Lies of P puts players in the shoes of a puppet on a quest to regain his lost humanity, and it's based on the popular childhood story of Pinocchio. The gameplay is heavily inspired by Bloodborne, which means you'll have to be quick and methodical in your strikes and dodges to have any hopes of besting the many battles that lie in your path. In addition to featuring some great art direction, Lies of P also introduces new gameplay mechanics like interchangeable prosthetic arms into the mix, which should keep things constantly exciting. It will be released for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and PC on September 19th, 2023. Lost Soul Aside. Currently in development at Util Zero Games, Lost Soul Aside revolves around the player fighting insurmountable odds in a dark fantasy world in hopes of saving themselves. The game is heavily inspired by modern action games and does a good job of combining these inspirations to make something really fresh. The combat looks extremely polished with superb animations that blend into one another, and the production values look amazing as well. Lost Soul Aside is set to release sometime in the near future for PS4 and PS5. Faith of DANSCHANT, Hereafter. A follow-up to Beijing Joy Fund's Faith of DANSCHANT, Hereafter tells the story of the protagonist trying to save his daughter from the evil clutches of a powerful witch. The combat in Hereafter is extremely fast-paced, and the player is able to perform a wide variety of acrobatic moves and strike combos to take down enemies in absolute style. There are also platforming sections to introduce some variety to the gameplay, and it looks nothing short of amazing. Faith of DANSCHANT Hereafter is set to release for PC, PS4, and Xbox One sometime in the near future. Project The Perceiver. Developer 17G's upcoming project The Perceiver looks like a unique mix of mechanics found in Souls-like and open-world games, which combine together for an experience that completely hooks you in. You take on the role of a reawakened artist on a quest to punish those who wronged you, and this journey will be punctuated with brutal fights against the toughest warriors of the region. The combat follows in the footsteps of Sekiro, which means that you have to be quick as well as methodical in your dance of strikes and parries to survive each encounter. It will be released for PC and PlayStation platforms sometime in the near future. Rise of Ronin. Team Ninja of Neo fame's upcoming Rise of Ronin tasks players to make a name for themselves during the Edo period of Japanese history. As a Ronin, you must make crucial decisions and fight battles in a world ravaged by war and disease. The gameplay builds upon the foundations of the developer's previous works, so you will be getting to choose from a wide variety of swords and weapons to make short work of your enemies alongside exploring an open world filled with plenty of opportunities. It will be released next year for PS5. ENENRA. ENENRA is an impressive solo developer project that sees players assuming the role of a cybernetically enhanced soldier on a quest to hunt down his mentors who wronged him in the first place. The combat is heavily based on using special powers like stasis and teleportation to absolutely obliterate any and all opposing standing between you and your goals. The game has surprisingly neat animations and quality visuals, and it's definitely worth keeping an eye out for when it releases for PC sometime in the near future. Marvel's Wolverine. Insomniac has established itself as one of Sony's top talents thanks to its commendable work on the recent Spider-Man games. In addition to the upcoming Spider-Man 2, the developer is also hard at work on Marvel's Wolverine. Details about the gameplay are paper-thin at the moment, but it seems rather obvious that players will get to aggressively slash through hordes of enemies, all while utilizing Wolverine's sharp adamantium claws and incredible regenerative powers. We're expecting to hear more about the game in the near future, and suffice it to say, expectations are pretty high for this release. It releases for PS5 sometime in the near future. Where Winds Meet. Set against the backdrop of the Ten Kingdoms era of Chinese history, Everstone Studios' upcoming Where Winds Meet is all about the protagonist embarking on a quest to discover his true potential amidst the turmoil and chaos. The combat is based on the wuxia fighting arts, and the trailer showcases plenty of flashy moves and long-string combos that you can unleash upon the enemy. Apart from that, you also have an open world brimming with activities to pursue and NPCs to meet, which should keep you busy for hours on end. It all sounds pretty promising, and we'll be checking this one out when it releases for PC sometime in the near future. Atlas Fallen. Atlas Fallen transports players into a magical world. The gameplay revolves around using sand-based abilities and shape-shifting weapons to defeat the many monsters and threats that roam the land. The traversal in particular looks really satisfying, but the combat systems aren't anything to scoff at either. Atlas Fallen will be releasing for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S on the 10th of August 2023. SENUA'S Saga Hellblade 2. Ninja Theory did a wonderful job with Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, and it follows up Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, looks primed to be yet another smash hit. The visuals are obviously the highlight of the show here, but we're expecting Senua's Saga to build upon the rather primitive combat system found in the original. Of course, details on that front are a bit scant at the moment, but that does very little to dim the excitement surrounding this release. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 will release for PC and Xbox Series X and S sometime in the near future. GHOSTRUNNER 2. GHOSTRUNNER might be one of the most methodical slashers on the list, since one unlucky hit is all that's standing between the players and a checkpoint restart. But despite those unforgiving mechanics, fans absolutely loved the game and have been craving a sequel. GHOSTRUNNER 2 is on track to release sometime this year, and the game will introduce new elements like motorcycle levels and boss fights alongside a whole host of other general improvements to the gameplay, which definitely has us excited to see the complete experience. Illusion Lands. Many dev studios is hard at work on Illusion Lands, an upcoming slasher that puts you in the shoes of a warrior named Irwin, who embarks on a quest to destroy the Devourers who continue to impose a mortal threat upon mankind. The developers promise a gripping story, and while the gameplay has some jankiness to it, Illusion Lands could definitely evolve into something special with the right efforts. It will be released for PC sometime in the near future. Hey, did you know that we at GamingBolt upload new videos every day? Stick around, drop a like, subscribe, and hit that bell, and let us know what kind of content you'd like to see in the future with a comment below.